Welcome to Connected with Amber D. I'm Amber D. I am very excited about this webisode as we are featuring two amazing special guests. Our first guest is Mrs. Patricia B Hayes of Patricia B Hayes Consulting Group, and our second guest is Diarra Olatunde, who is an up-and-coming rap artist. I'm so looking forward to speaking to these two empowering people so they can share their work with us. Stay tuned. Whether Ms. Hayes is speaking for a corporate event or to an individual with how to make better business choices, she's making a positive impact wherever she goes. About this fantastic webisode we have for you today. We have two special guests, and our first guest is Mrs. Patricia B Hayes Consulting Group. That's her company. And here she is, looking lovely, looking fabulous, looking everything. And I just can't wait to talk to you and, talk about what it is that you're doing and all these great things. So, yeah, girl, this is so fantastic. So I'm so happy. So there's a couple of things, that I have researched about you, and there's just a couple of questions. Is that okay if I start asking you those questions?
Yes, go right ahead.
All right. So I see you went to Pepperdine University. That's a school of law. And what area of law do you specialize in?
Yeah, so Pepperdine is, I always wanted to be a lawyer, first of all. So I have to say that. So I really was one of those kids that decided at age 10 that I wanted to be a lawyer. I didn't know what that meant, but I knew that I liked helping people and I liked being an advocate for people. So that's, as I learned more about it, that's when I realized, being in law school was the thing for me. And so I made my way out there, because when you open up that 2-page fold and you see Pepperdine sitting in Malibu on the mountains with the ocean off, you're like, well, of course I have to go to school there, right? So,
wow.
So that's literally a little bit of that's not too far off on how things happen. And so I gained a great experience out there, but I also knew that I loved working on issues affecting education because I grew up a lot with education being really emphasized in my family and my community. And so, again, there was one of those, I think I want to practice education law. Had no idea what that meant, but decided that's what I would do. But before going away to law school, I had been involved and gotten started and being involved in the legislative process. So basically, I ended up joining the two. So I did education law and I did legislative policy. And as a result, because my first job out of law school was representing teachers. And so that meant I was doing employment related matters and administrative. So kind of a hodgepodge, but it fit perfectly for the type of work I was doing and interested in.
Well, that's awesome. My goodness. You was just tapping into all facets of law, which is fantastic. And we all know how this education system in our country is right now, right?
It needs some help.
It needs a lot of help. A lot of help. Yeah. So tell us, what intrigued you into going into empowerment coaching?
Well, so that was a roundabout thing. It was not something I was seeking to do. I mean, as I just said, I knew that I wanted to be a lawyer and practice law. But one of the things that I've also always been interested in is personal development. So I was the nerdy kid in high school who was reading the personal development books and putting things into practice. And so I just always did that. And I was always wanting to learn more. And so as I just continued with my career, doing lobbying and governmental relations and law, then that's when I kind of realized, people were always coming to me for advice about what to do with their careers or what decisions to make. And I was always speaking at different events. So it literally was maybe 5 years ago when I realized and a friend told me, they're like, people get paid to do what you're doing. And I had no idea. And so, but it was time for myself to make a transition with my career. And so I was probably my own first client in transitioning. And that's how I got involved.
Well, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Well, they saw that you had that gift in you that was going to be enabling to allow people to see within their inner selves and to be something
Yeah.
more. So I think that's a compliment. That's great. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
And then having that having the knowledge of law behind you, that even makes it better.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, guess what? Like, you're always going to get more than you pay for, because there's just certain things I can't turn off in my head. And that's my legal training. So the way you learn to think as a lawyer, it's just always there.
Yeah, that's great. So, with all this COVID-19 going on, it's been extremely detrimental for so many people, over 200,000 lives lost. It's horrific.
Yeah.
So how has this affected your business?
It's really interesting, because at first, it was really strange, because when COVID hit, I actually had just been complaining about not having enough speaking engagements. And normally January, February is when I'm really busy, because February is Black History Month, but I had nothing. And I was like, that is so weird. And so when COVID hit, all of the things that I was working on for the spring and later in the year, I was like, oh no, this is not good. But I was like, okay, you got to reframe, you got to reframe your mindset and just keep going. And then literally, Amber, it has been crazy, because I have had more speaking engagements and trainings that have come as a result because of COVID in the last 8-9 months, however long it's been now, than I had even planned or anticipated. And it's because people started realizing they needed people who knew how to speak online to an audience. And that's what I've been doing for years already. And so I could easily just, step into that. So it's been a blessing. It was totally unexpected. And especially as I was still working towards, building out some of my coaching programs. So it's just been a wild ride all around.
Wow. That's amazing. It truly is. And with all the technology now, it even makes it a lot more easier, in that regard.
Yes. And some people, they weren't ready, right? They didn't know, they're like still trying to figure out Zoom, and much less anything else that's more complicated about, lighting and microphones and how to, best position yourself. So these were some of the things that I know that I had already been working on for a few years because of my own coaches. So I practice what I preach, and I have my own coaches down through the years who've helped me. And so even though I didn't know exactly what I was preparing for, it looks like this is the year that I was preparing for.
Oh, wow. Well, that's like I said, that's within itself a blessing, a true blessing that you were able to still continue and still empower and still, be able to help people even throughout this dire time in our country.
Absolutely. So
did you know that this was going to be, a field that you'd be truly passionate about, and why? I know you touched on it a little bit, but where was it, that defining moment that said, you know what, this is it?
It was probably about 5 years ago. And, so I had already had my consulting business for, I've been out on my own for about 10 years now. And the first 5 years, I was doing straight governmental relations and lobbying. So I was, I had a lobby firm. I was working with others, doing some collaborations, and it was some great experience. But there were aspects of it I wasn't having fun with anymore, right? The politics of it, which is weird because it's all about politics. I love politics and the legislative process, but it was turning a little nasty and dirty, and it wasn't fun anymore. And so, but what was fun was every time I go out and speak to a group of, of women, or when I got asked to come speak for something, or, getting those calls where I could try to help someone, And I started realizing, I'm like, I need, and I was being told also, like, you need to go do something with this. I had no idea what it was. So the passion for it has always been there, like I mentioned earlier, but I hadn't taken it more seriously to figure out about turning it into something till about 5 years ago. And then I've just been doing it ever since and been pivoting the entire time. It was like the whole last 5 years has been a big giant pivot. And so, but it's been fun. It's been fun. It hasn't been easy.
No.
I'm not that person who's going to fake and shake and say, oh, it's been hunky dory, because it has not been. It has been very, challenging at times with people who are like, what are you doing and why? And I just have to, you know how it is. You have to just keep walking, because that's what you need to be doing. That's what your purpose is right now. And so I've just stayed true to the path.
That's you know what? And you said it so eloquently and so positively that I was feeling that, you know what I'm saying? Like this movement, I love it. I really love it. And I can see you in legislature, actually. I could see that.
My family gets tired of me, especially during the legislative time period here, because if I hear some little blip on the news, I'd be like, that's not true, and I go off, because I've spent so much time behind the scenes at pretty high levels when I was doing that work that I know how it works. And so I have to turn it off, or they're like, turn off the TV. You're not allowed to watch. You're not allowed to watch during session.
You're not allowed to get into it, huh? Yeah, but we need those real true fact checkers, though, for real. A lot of falsities going on.
So important. And that's what I think, advocacy is one of the things that I work on as well, because it's absolutely all about empowerment, right? You have to be able to advocate for yourself and others. And this time period that we've been going through in our country is just even more evidence of that, and how important it is to stand up for what you believe in and to go forward in it and not to be afraid. We all can have that fear, but you have to move past it and have the courage to take the next step anyways.
That's right. Wow. Powerful. Very powerful. So who could benefit from your services?
I like to say that anyone who wants to achieve at the next level for themselves personally and recognizes that they themselves are their best competition, not externally, because so many times we focus on what other people are doing, when bottom line, it really doesn't matter what somebody else is doing. It's about what are you doing, and are you pushing yourself at the highest level? I was speaking the other day, and I got asked the question of, what happens if, the goals that I set for this year, if I've already, I've achieved them? And so I gave them an answer that they weren't expecting. And I said, it means you set your goals too low. And there was like silence on the other end. And they're like, oh my God, I had never thought that. You have to push yourself. If you're sticking within your comfort zone, then guess what that means? You are not pushing yourself to the level that you need to be at. You need to be uncomfortable. And when you're achieving, and particularly when people are transitioning, I really work well with people who are in the midst of a personal or professional transition, because a lot of times that you get stuck, you feel stuck, especially if you're coming from something where you had a bad experience, right?
Right.
I mean, I've had that, been there, done that, but it's about what you do with that experience and not letting it tear you down, but rather using it as a stepping stone to move you ahead. So, really, if you're ready to make a transition in your career, in your professional life, whatever it is you're doing, moving to business, whatever, like a lot of times, most people, you can get there faster if you have a coach to support you, who's, someone who can support you with what you're doing, and not going to be, but it's not going to be a yes person, because that's really what it's about. You need someone who's going to challenge you to achieve at your highest level.
Well, you know what? This is a treasure of information that you're giving here. And wow. I mean, I hope you guys are listening, because you can learn some things from Mrs. Hayes here now. I mean, plethora of great information, and wow. And I mean, you're empowering me, right now. So that, I mean, wow, it's fantastic. So tell me, what are some of your memorable events? You know, which ones that really just stood out to you, and just give us a short of why. You know, what was that?
Like an event that I like hosted or something while doing coaching?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Or any type of event that you have done recently that just really stood out, you know?
So this is a true story. I literally got a text message today from a colleague, from a friend/colleague who out of the blue, so I do this coffee chat. So you see my little coffee sign. That's because twice a week I do this coffee chat online. And I just lay out, because we've all been cooped up, and I was used to having conversations with people at least 2 or 3 times a week, literally over coffee. And so I just decided, you know what, I'm not going to give up my coffee chats. I'm just going to do it a different way. So I started these virtual coffee chats, and I would do them on my business page, and whoever shows up, but I record them and I share. And so here's one of my business colleagues and friends out of the blue on a Saturday afternoon saying, FYI, your coffee chats have made me such that I needed to go apply and take action on a position people have been telling me I need to go after, but I hadn't. But your little coffee chats have made me move because I just hear you in my ear. And so, those are the moments that like give me life, right? When I get those moments. I remember, and I'm getting chills thinking about it. I remember another time a couple of years ago when I was doing, I would do my newsletters and I'd send it out, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing this. It doesn't feel like I'm really having an impact. So I sent this one email out like late on a Friday, and it went off. Then I come back and I check my email, and there was this person who had responded immediately and said, I was just sitting here thinking about giving up, and your email came through.
Oh, wow.
And I want to say thank you, because it just completely helped me shift my mindset about what it is I'm doing. And I'm going to get up off this couch and go do something.
That's wonderful. Wow.
Those are the moments.
Yes.
Those are the moments. And there's so many like that, but it really and truly are those little moments, because what people don't realize is like you're feeding my spirit when you do that. And that gives me the energy I need to keep going.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. And I can feel that from you. I can feel that energy from you, that it's pure, that it's real, and that's a wonderul thing.
Don't make me tear up, Amber, but they do. Those moments, they're really empowering for me.
Oh, I know. I know, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's not always the glitz and the this and the this. It's, just like you say, it's those true moments.
Yes.
That really opens the light, or turns on the light as to why you're doing what you're doing.
Yes.
It makes you realize that's why you're there doing those things. And it's truly amazing. That's wonderful. That is so wonderful. So, so when you're not empowering minds, right? What are other things that you're involved with? I know you spoke about your coffee, talk. That's what it's called, right? The coffee.
My coffee chats. Yes.
Coffee chat. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So you're talking about your coffee chat. So what other things that you have going on besides all that?
So there's a lot.
Which is a lot.
I know. On the professional side, it's really trying to get myself to the next level, right? So again, I have my own coaches, and I'm taking their own, their advice, and recognizing that I need to get the support that I need so that I can get out of the weeds and move on.
Right.
So I'm super excited because I've been doing that. I've been working on that the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, yay! I'm super excited about
that's awesome
coming forward. That will allow me to take those coffee chats and turn them into a podcast. That will allow me to start working on a book that I've been being told I need to do for like 2 or 3 years now about networking.
Oh, I hear you on that.
My other thing, that's my like baby issue, right? I love talking about authentic networking. And then In my program, I've been building out this, I call it the Career Catalyst program, and it's a 12-month program where people can come and you can get the support year long in order to move yourself forward. Because most people think that, I can just rush in and do it. You cannot rush in and make changes because it's going to take time, because probably half the time it's about what's going on in your head, and you got to undo some of that. So, so that's why I have built out this program. There used to be some 3-month classes, and it just wasn't long enough. So I've been, massaging that for a while. But beside all of that on the business side, it's probably the 2 C's: community work and my children. So, I still serve on a number of boards in my community. I've always been an advocate for volunteerism. And so I continue to serve in leadership roles on boards in my community. And it leads to a lot of the, strengthening of my network. I mean, it's just a natural fit. And then my knucklehead children who are to death, and my family. And so, we're just all just hanging in there tight and keeping it moving from one day to the next.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And like you said, I think it's a very important thing to be involved in the community and being sure that you're in the know and on boards, like you're saying, because if you're not, then you don't really have that connect, or you don't really have that. You really can't say anything if you're not involved. You know what I'm saying?
Well, don't get me started on that, because I feel really strongly about that, particularly people in politics. And he goes, my first question to you will be, did you vote? Because if you didn't vote, you do not get to complain. That is a rule in Diarra. Oh,
let me tell you, we can go on for days with that.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other.
We both know we can talk about that for days. But anyway, let's just pass that on by right now, because that'd be heated. Heated. I'll tell you that right now. So, what advice would you give to those that are trying to look into getting into the field that you're in?
It requires work. And it requires work in a way that people don't think, because a lot of people think, particularly in the online coaching space, that it's all about the glitz, and they believe all those pictures that people are posting of, whatever big house that they've rented or the plane that they've borrowed to take pictures in front of. You're never going to see me doing that. You're going to see me take pictures right here on my front porch, because that's real, right?
Right.
Some stage things, but it's never going to be any of those things, because people connect with you. And so in order to get to that point, if you are going to provide an outlet or an opportunity for people to want to be able to share, you have to be willing to open up and be vulnerable and to share your faults and to share where your needs have been. Otherwise, it comes across as inauthentic, and that you won't be able to help them. So you have to be able to do that. You have to be willing to share, and it's work.
Oh yeah. I mean, Rome wasn't built in one day, right?
It can't be done in one day. This is months and years. And sometimes my growth is only a few days ahead of the people I'm trying to help. Because if I've just had a major insight into something, I'm trying to build myself up so that I can lead them in the right direction and to not get stagnant. Right.
Right.
So it's always, if you're going to be doing any kind of coaching, it always requires you to be one step ahead of the people you want to help.
Right. Oh, I understand that. That's some great advice to give, because like you said, people think they can just rush into things without thoroughly thinking it through, and even writing notes, to kind of help guide them through, I'm just going to do this. And then they wonder why it doesn't.
More damage to someone by not doing the work.
Right. That's it. So what's the next big event you have coming up?
So I'm doing a couple of challenges. I finished my Harvest Time Challenge last week. I love doing those. They're day free. And I've been doing them for a couple of years. And literally, like I said, when I started them, they were all about what do I need right now? And so I started sharing them. And so I've been doing them and I have people engaged. So I just completed that one, which is all about, what do you do to look back over your past year, even this year, to figure out what opportunities can you harvest from that so they can use them moving forward. So the week of the 23rd, I'll be starting the Walk in Your Strength Challenge. Again, it's another 5-day challenge, and where we're going to dig into helping you recognize what your personal strengths are and how you can walk in them, and so that you can be a better person and be more effective personally and professionally.
Well, that's wonderful.
So that'll be the end of this month. And then in December, I will be hosting my live workshop. I love doing it. And it's 5 days, and it's my 5 steps to career success in any economy. And you want to come in and get some knowledge dropped, and without any fees, that's it. Because I literally give you just straight, what do you need to do if you want to work, be better about being successful regardless of the economy that you're in. So
that's wonderful
about that.
Well, that's wonderful. So that's where I'm going to go to right now, because I'm pretty sure, given that wealth of information right there, people are going to want to know how they can contact you, how they can go about getting involved in these wonderful things that you got coming up. So where and how can you be contacted? I know that at the end of the show, obviously, I'm going to have those things, but you can tell us too.
So I'm all over social media, but you can start with my website, which is Patricia V as in Victor, Hayes.com. So patriciavhayes.com is my website. And then on social media, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I have a Facebook business page, which is Patricia B Hayes. And then also on LinkedIn. And I always tell people, particularly on LinkedIn, because I get a lot of people that are always trying to sell me. And I'm like, I don't do that. Remember, I'm all about authentic networking. So if you tell me when you connect that, hey, I heard you on Amber D's show, you are automatically in. I will not screen you.
Oh, wow. Hey, that's what's up, girl. I know. Well, that is wonderful. I just, oh my gosh, I'm just so grateful that you were able to take some time out of your already busy schedule. I really appreciate you, and I just love seeing African American women making positive differences within the community and opening doors, for others to follow, so I just wish you much continued success and keep spreading that knowledge. Lady, I mean, this is just wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's awesome. I love doing this. So I can't wait to be able to follow up again with you.
Hey, listen, we're going to talk about that.
We have to do
have a good one. Stay blessed. Stay healthy, and blessings to your family and all that good stuff. And I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You're welcome. And our second guest is Diarra Olatunde Hamilton, who is an up-and-coming rap artist.
Representing us. Yo, LJE, I got you. It's just clouds in my eyes. What you see are tears of joy. Rain down on Amazons, torrential downpour. Glide by drones, their target was unknown. Since assassination.
Hey, what is going on? I told you guys we're going to have this fantastic show with 2 awesome special guests. And right now we're going to be speaking to Diarra Olatunde.
Right, that's right.
We're going to be talking with him right now. We're going to discuss all these fantastic things he's got going on. And man, I just can't wait to share all this stuff with everyone worldwide. How about that?
Awesome.
How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful today. Celebrating my 42nd birthday today.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And thank you for taking the time out on your special day to share with us.
I love you, and I've been wanting to get up with you for a little while now. So thank you for reaching out to me about this opportunity.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that so much. So, I got a few questions that, people want to know. I want to know more about. So you ready to do endeavor on those?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. So where are you from? I mean, I think people, when they can hear you talk, they should know. But, for those that don't, at least you get the chance to tell them.
Definitely.
And then, so where are you from? And then when did you move here to Arizona?
All right, definitely. Well, I think the legendary Ms. Amber was referring to me being from New York. I am born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I did move around the East Coast. I went to college in North Carolina. Also lived in Florida, too. So I got a little Southern slang also. I moved here to Phoenix in January 2009. I used to be a restaurant manager, and I traveled a lot through Darton restaurants. And I came out here 2009 and stayed. I love it out here.
You can't beat the weather, right?
You can't beat the weather, but the opportunity is the greatest thing out here. You can come out here and be anybody who you want on any given day, and no one here can stop you from doing it. So this place is like the land of opportunity for me.
That's you know what? That's a great selling point for Arizona. And I agree with you 100%. So that's awesome. So what led you to your journey to start rapping?
Well, growing up in Brooklyn, I'm around so many different musical influences, and rap and hip hop, R&B as well too. It's my two older brothers that I have. They were industry artists for a few years, and they had a lot of great reputation in what we call the projects in Brooklyn, and then for the MCing and DJing, and just watching how people responded to the successes they had, on the microphone and on the turntables, and just the love they got every day, and the people that showed me love just because I was a little brother, and that was the start of me wanting to learn how to formulate these words together and get people to. I feel like it was the only way people would listen to you. Where I'm from, if you can rap, people listen to you, and just saying something, and that's what led to it. My family, my own family, and just the street reputation of what hip hop brought, meaning getting attention from others.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's up. I mean, and like you said, which is true. If you saying stuff that's real, that can really relate, that people can relate to, I mean, man, you're going to be touching a lot of minds and with that.
You look at Biggie Smalls and Tupac, two of the most iconic, artists that we've had in the hip hop community. And the things they said resonated with people so well.
Oh, yeah.
See the unfortunate mishaps of that too, but that just show you how big their words were to people and how it translated to people's lives, because people live that same life, like the same life every day in their life. So they can relate to somebody that they hear and they know that they came from that same type of roots and was able to have some success in life. And that's what it's all about, finding success, seeing success, where you can be able to create that for your own self.
That's true. That is very true. Man, it's just a big gamut of things.
Yes.
And like you said, when you can reach people and make that change, make that difference, it makes it even all the better, right?
It does. It makes it very rewarding. Something my mother liked to always say to me: let things be rewarding to you, and not just you doing it. So,
right.
You know what? And what I was saying, just going back to what led me to doing this. I saw the rewards of being able to reach different individuals, and not just the people in my project building, or just everybody being able to say things that make people want to stop and look and be like, hey, this guy's saying something, or this guy, she's saying something, you know?
Right.
That is where, you know, what made me love hip hop so much. It gave everybody that chance to do that. And you didn't have to be a president or anything like that for people to listen. You can be a regular person just like me and can say the most knowledgeable things that just transpire through people throughout wherever they are or whoever they are.
I know that's right. So what subject matters are you most passionate about? Passionate about when you're writing?
Oh, definitely. I learned a long time ago, transparency within yourself is the best route to always go. So I like to put my favorite subjects are going to be about my own struggles and my own adversaries and my own how I overcame these things. Because I always say, if people see you as a leader or they know that you went through these experiences, it's just going to make it way more believable that hey, this person did this, and what they saying to me is totally true, and it's totally I can be like this person, and I can even do it better than this person. But it was guidelines that helped you see how things transpired through this. And so I like to keep the subjects on, interpersonal things about myself, even if it seemed like not the most popular things to talk about. I've had songs about, I had past drug addictions. I've had things where I talked about pornography on the internet. I've had a lot of different topics I like to cover, and sometimes they're not the most popular things to talk about, but they're the most realistic things to talk about. Sorry about that.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely like to talk about things that has affected my life and how I overcame those adversaries and how I'm able to share with others. So those topics for me are the most genuine to talk about. I also cover other things, but those are the most important ones.
Right. And again, it's relatable.
Yes, definitely. And that's where you want to keep it. That's your music should be who you are as a person. And everybody tells me the way I approach life on a daily basis. And then when they hear me, they hear my songs, they're like, hey, I know that's the same person. This is what he does and he says all the time. And that's why with me, I don't write music down. It all comes from the mind and the heart. I never have a pen and a pad writing anything, because my lyrics are a repeat of my everyday successes and my lessons and my life lessons that I go through every day. So it's easy for me to remember what my progression or the things that I wasn't successful in. I know how to be able to accumulate things where I can be successful, or I know hey, I can't do this yet, but in time I can take the steps to learn how to do it. So being interpersonal and being genuine to who you are as a person is always my favorite things to talk about.
Well, that's what's up, and again, that's just keeping it real. It makes it more relatable for your audience. And, when you're spitting those words, they know that, hey, that sounds like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what it sounds like, and that's what you want. But that makes it more engaging, to your audience.
It is. And I try to.
So which one of your songs would you say holds close to your heart?
Right now, I have a song called "Remembering Me," and it's actually featuring the wonderful Amber D.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And actually, not trying to promote anything like that, but the song will be released next month on DistroKid, and everyone will get.
Oh wow! This is the first time I'm hearing this, so that's fantastic.
I've been doing a bunch of a lot of different things, and I want to make sure, one thing I learned about releasing a song, I want to make sure that on all ends, on whether it's promotion, whether if it's just another mastering with the song, just if you got feature artists, you want to make sure the feature artists are in a position where they can be able to promote and be able to accept the song. So I got that coming in December, and the reason why this song "Remember Me" is so important, you know, like I said, besides the fact that I have a celebrity artist on it, featured on it, but it does have audio clips of some of my family members, my father, my mother, and my sister. I called them this years ago. I called them and asked them to leave audio clips of me, audio clips of them trying to reach out to me, and you know, just saying things, how they feel about me, and I was able to implement that within the song. And it's very hard for me to listen to the song without crying and without having just not thinking about my past. And so, you know, especially with my father. Me and my father are very close, and one of my dreams has always been for my father to see me having lots of success in my career. And you know, 42 years old, I can truly say, you know, it's the first time my father can look at me and be like, "Wow, my son is really, really out there and doing it." And that song was the key. When I sent that song to my father, I felt like I have accomplished everything I ever wanted to do. And
wow. And that's amazing.
Yeah,
and it is an amazing track, by the way.
Thank you very much.
And not because I'm on it.
Very much.
Because it was truth.
Yeah, definitely. When we all had our moments at the studio when we was there doing it. It was a magical session, and being able to send my father, like I said, being able to send my father that song and get his true feelings on it, and I've done everything I wanted to do as far as presenting music to anyone. You know, my father, who's my hero, my role model, told me that and showed me that it's the best song he's ever heard in his life, and that means everything to me. So,
that's awesome.
Everything else for me now has become, I don't want to say easy, but I don't have that monkey on my back no more. So,
right.
I have a lot of freedom and a lot of just different opportunities of things I can do. I don't have a pressure on me anymore right now. So and it's all because of that song. That I have a lot of great other songs, but that song was. I can't wait to release it. I feel like other people are gonna feel the same way, especially you know, if you're missing your family and if you know if you're close to your dad or your mom or whatever. And you hear that and just the emotions of the song, I just think it's going to be fantastic, and it's my favorite. And I want to thank you for helping.
Well, I can tell it holds close to your heart because you can't stop talking. But that's fantastic, man. You know, I'm looking forward to the release of that as well, because it's a great track, and I think it's gonna touch on a lot of people.
Definitely, and I can't wait to hook up with you, and we can start talking about doing a nice video for it.
Oh wow! Yeah, okay. Well, we'll definitely talk about that.
Definitely.
That's awesome. So now, I know you touched on this already, but you know, what are you currently working on? I know you want to work on doing the video for that song. So,
yes.
What else are you doing?
I already completed, you know, my first album. Working on recording on the second one. Actually, this week, Monday that just passed, I started I am filming a movie. I'm not gonna give the names of the movie and everything like that, but I am filming a movie.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Yes, it is. I'm not the guy behind the camera. I am I'm the script writer. I'm the actor, and I'm a co-producer. And everything is through my company, LJE, Long Journey Entertainment LLC. And pretty much what I'm doing is I went to Sky Harbor Airport, and I got all the licensing, the permits. I invited some camera crew from
That's
Phoenix.
What's up.
They come in, they can use the footage for, for their behalves, and it's going to be for my project, because I want, I want to build this relationship with not just with rappers, but even down to camera people, I want them to come to my, the locations that I'm written out, and be able to, film some great actors, and even people who's trying to begin acting. We had one person I hired to come in to play as a ticketing agent, and her first time being on camera, she was so excited and nervous at the same time. It was awesome. So, like I said, I'm making this film. It's getting bigger and bigger as we go. Tuesday, I'll be in Mission Beach in San Diego filming another scene for the movie. So it's a lot of opportunities coming up. I have a couple of licensing agreements that I had to go get an attorney for, where we can now look over this agreement and see how it's going to benefit for both sides. So it's a lot of great things coming up. 2020 definitely was the planting the seeds. 2021, folks, y'all watch out for Olatunde. I promise y'all will see a lot more of me, and it's always positive and always positive networking. I want to give a chance to. I'm old fashioned. I want to shake your hand. I want to see what your talent is about. I want to see how we can work together. And that's what I've been doing.
That's fantastic, man. You're doing a lot. You're venturing into all different types of avenues of entertainment, and that's awesome, because that just makes it more marketable. Also,
it does, and it's building the. I already thought I had great character, but this stuff is very humbling.
Oh wow,
very humbling.
That's fantastic.
And
so then, what I want to ask too, then. So then, with all of what you have going on, do you have any upcoming shows? I mean, I know that with COVID-19, again, it's devastating. It's caused tremendous havoc. The lives lost, over 200,000 lives lost. I mean, it's just been horrific.
Personally be affected with someone in my family and a very close friend of mine who hung on to their lives being affected from COVID, both living in New York when it first really started hitting. And I would Zoom my friend just to see how he's doing. And it's a real thing. It is not no real thing. I know everybody got their different opinions and stuff, but it's a real thing. And it's caused real changes in our, far as like, especially musicians, how we able to music. Unfortunately, the rest of this year, I don't have any shows far as like book or anything. I had a few that has already passed, but the places hasn't opened back up yet. So right now, video, all type of images are the most important thing right now to be able to, in my feeling, the way to distribute music, and the people can see what their favorite artist is and what type of music is out there right now. Where I say I'm gearing up really hard for the rest of this year, and I'm like everybody else. I am praying that 2021 will be a difference with the virus and things can begin to open back up, just for our way of living every day as and then and these the selfish artists. I want these clubs and these public places to open back up so we can be able to start having our music circulating again. And so I'm hoping 2021 brings that. But regardless of what happens, I'm going to always gear myself up with music, new music. Now I have this filming opportunities coming up. I'm going to make sure I get all I can out of that. So when things do pop open, I'm ready. I'm going to be ready, and I'm going to be strong. And
well, that's what's up. You always got to have more than one thing going on, right? You can't just have everything, and that's where people get it, misconstrued. You can't just have just one thing in your basket. You got to have many different things.
I just want to say this real quick to people too. Like I said, I turned 42 years old today. I've been rapping for over 25 years, and I've done 2 studio albums. I've done major collaborations with artists from New York, California, and all my life rapping. I've had successes here and there. I've been in the filming industry for 2 months, and I've had as much success in the 2 months and that I've had in the 25 years of rapping. So that goes to show you sometimes, and not saying that the rapping ain't for me, because I'm still going to always do it. But
of course,
I can truly say I didn't give myself an opportunity prior to look at different avenues and stuff. And it was because of the COVID. The COVID has shut down the stuff.
Right.
If you want to get out there, you got to find other ways. For me, it's been through filming and video and social media. So I'm just going to keep it as that right now. And hopefully Arizona can open up some more virtual like live performances. I've seen a couple of things, but it would be good to get things back circulating. But regardless of what, I'm going to be strong. I promise you, though.
I know that's right. So what advice would you give to up-and-coming artists?
Number one, I'm going to tell you like my attorney tells me all day, every day, perseverance. That's what it's going to take. You're going to get knocked down. Life is life. The music in life is no different. It's hard. And
very hard.
It's hard. And you gotta want it. You gotta want to get knocked down and get yourself back up. You gotta want to be the best artist that you possibly can be, and not what no one else says or thinks you can be. The best artist you can be, and
that's right.
And once you figure that out, it's taken me a long time. I had to reach to 40 to really start to out, but I'm very grateful for that. But if I can help an artist reach success before they can hit 40, my number one thing would be just make sure you have perseverance in everything you do. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up.
Never give up.
You know what? Honestly, the giving up is so easy to do. Everything you do can be the most overwhelming, and I can't do this, and that's it. But it takes a lot of guts to want to get yourself back up and do it better than what you tried before. So that's my advice for, and not just any music artist, but just people in life. Right. When they hit you, you absorb it. Don't let it go. Absorb it and learn from these things. Know these feelings. If it's a feeling that you don't like, make sure you put yourself in a position where you're not feeling like that again. And you learn new things, you avenues for yourself. So just everybody in life, just don't give up and just keep just keep it going. Keep it going strong, and have faith in what you're doing. And,
for real.
It's not gonna
and don't always listen to what other people tell you, because that can stifle your grind.
Yes, it can. I've lived a lot of years not knowing who I am because I thought somebody else's ideas were better than mine, and I can tell you that it's not going to work out like that. You're going to have to figure out who you are as a person and what do you bring. What exactly do you bring? What is, with artists, you lose this a lot. I don't see the talent. Like, the days when you was, on stage, live on stage and stuff, and when I was coming up on the, in the music scene and stuff, your talent showed right in front of you. You knew what this dynamic, this artist can do. They brought it to the table, and a lot of that is lost because of the, I don't want to say lack of creativity, but it's a lot of recycled creativity. It's a lot of it's a lot of the same thing I'm hearing, the same type of attributes, and the same, especially with the lyrics. I love beats, but I'm into the lyrics because I'm a writer. I can tell by your first line, your introduction line, if it's something that's not outspoken, I can kind of tell how the rest of it's going to go. But, everything has its place. I just would like to see people be more of themselves and just be more creative with the way they formulate words. Its structures and how you can do your verses. It's put your natural voice onto it. It's just a lot of different things that it's a lot different. And I don't want to say one era is better than the other, but I do miss the era where people who will just be themselves a little bit more and just show be proud of your talent. You know what I mean?
Of course. I get what you're saying.
Just be proud.
Man, I mean, a lot of truth in what you're saying, and I know that a lot of those that are coming up are going to appreciate, all of this that you shared with them. And I'm telling you, I'm just really looking forward to your release, your up and coming release. I'm looking forward to a lot more of what you got going on, and I think you're an awesome artist. So I'm really looking forward to what you're gonna have, to give to the world. So
thank you.
And I'm happy to be a part of that journey.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate you just showing me the ropes and how to be an artist. Really, just giving me a great example of what a professional artist is, and how you conduct your business, and how you and still be able to go about your life. And so thank you to you, and just for all the great work you have done, and just your leadership, just on an everyday basis of you being who you are. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Well, look, I know it's your birthday. I don't want to, keep you. I know everybody. That's why you had the ringing and people like, where you at? It's birthday. You know what I mean? So I don't want to get into that. Mess up your day of celebration. So thank you so much. I just wish you so much success, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everything brings for you.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to delivering on my promise to everyone. Okay, and always the real you're gonna get from Olatunde, and nothing but love. That's all I'm trying to give, and let's make great music and just live our lives the way we need to.
Right. All right. Well, take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See y'all later.
Talk to you later.
Thank you.